Ugh. I say this all the time, but again, I am tired. The plan was originally once we got here, she was gonna hold the camera and talk to y'all like, you know, she does. But baby girl sleeping. She's pretty tired. She's had some Tylenol today. She's not feeling the best. I don't think. She's probably in some pain. She had a little accident yesterday that I will talk about later video, because I ain't got the time, the want to, or the calmness to actually talk about it yet. But she had a little incident yesterday, and so her body's just kind of in some pain. So of course Tylenol makes them tired. So yeah. So we are at the school drop off or pick up. I'm not dropping it out, I'm picking him up. And it is 3:27. And actually, while I have you on here, I got a text from Remind, which is the app that we use to communicate with the teacher. And I wasn't able to read all of it because, one, I was driving, two, it didn't show up like all of it. So but the part I did read, I was like, oh no. Let me turn the truck off. Oh, it's gotta load. Okay. So this says, hi. I wanted to let you know a little girl acted like she was going to slap Kaleb today. She did place her hand on his face, but she didn't actually hit. So it seems like it was more of a type of thing. She had consequences for putting her hands on a classmate, and we moved her to a different table. Now, I know they're not going to tell me who it is, so I'm not even really going to ask. But Kaleb will tell me who it is. Now, all of the names that he tells me, I can't really... Some of these names, I'm not even sure if they're real names, nicknames. I'm not really sure. And also, even if I know the names, I don't know them well enough to have a face for the name. But I do have like the pictures and videos that I took a field day, and I know if I was to show Kaleb any of these pictures, he could point her out to me. Now, the only reason I would do that, to like see who it is because there is a little girl, and the only reason why I know who it is, I don't know her name, but I know, like, I mean, he pointed her out when I was editing one of the videos. I had got her in the video, and I had to chop that out. And so he said, oh, that's so-and-so, and she's the one that does this, this, and this. And apparently, he actually tells me almost on a daily basis that she's mean to him. And that she doesn't like him. And she's constantly telling him that he's not 5, he's 4. And that at one point in time, she supposedly told him that he's not ever going to have a birthday. And of course, that hurt his feelings. And there is this particular little girl in the class that he really likes. At first, I thought it was a boy, but kind of found out it's a little girl. And it's only because, and I'm pretty sure that what they call her is probably just her, like, the abbreviations of her name. But, like, I have a nephew that uses those same initials. And instead of calling him by his very long name, we just call him the first initial and middle initial to make it short. And so, I mean, I don't think I've actually ever heard of anyone calling their little girl this. But this is what Kaleb calls her, and he says it's a girl, so, I mean, I'm not, most likely it's most likely just like an abbreviation of her name. She probably has a longer name, or maybe that's something that's maybe a little bit harder for other kids to pronounce, so her parents just call her, you know, a very short little nickname. But anywho, he really likes this little girl. He loves her to death. He's constantly talking about her. And so, but his thing is the fact of this other little girl that supposedly is always mean to him. He keeps telling me that she is trying to take this other little girl away from him. And that she has supposedly told him that he can't be friends with her because he's a boy. And that she is her best friend and he can't talk to her and this or that. And so, like I said, he's talked about this girl quite often on how mean she is, and she says certain things about how he can't be friends with girls, and that this particular sweet little girl, I've met her, she's super duper sweet, he can't be friends with her because that's her best friend and to stay away from her and yada yada yada. And so, like, my curiosity kind of wants to know if it is the same girl, just so I can go to the teacher and say, okay, well, I kind of was just chalking up to kids being kids and Kaleb probably getting things mixed up, and he's saying things that, you know, kind of isn't entirely true, just because he gets things mixed up. And he has done that, and I've asked the teacher about it. She's like, I have no clue as to what he's talking about. I'm so sorry. And so I'm chalking it up to, okay, wild and imagination. But, like, my curiosity wants to know if it is that same girl. Because if it is, then I'd like to go to the teacher and say, okay, well, this is what he's been telling me. I chalked it up to getting things mixed up, or just the fact that they just had a little spat that day, or not exactly sure what it is. But he's been telling me for a little bit that this particular little girl has been mean to him. And now he's telling me that it's the same girl. And, you know, if he shows me, you know, I could, like, be like, look, it's this little girl right here. And, you know, if this is the same little girl, then he's been telling me she's been mean to him for quite a while now. So, which, I mean, they're supposedly at different tables now, which is fine, which should keep that down. But if she's been mean to him before, you know, saying, you know, mean, hateful things that kids are known to do from time to time, and then she's, you know, acting like she's gonna slap him, it might end up being one of those things to where even separating them, like putting them at different tables, still might not even work. You know, because my fear is, you know, what if she, you know, gets outside and she hits him, you know, outside, and maybe teachers may not see it. I'm not saying that the little girl is going to do that. I hope to God she doesn't, because one, that will make Mama mad. But on the other side of that is, I mean, Kaleb's he's not big for his age. He is going to be a little bit more on the built side, because he's going to get, of course, he gets that from a line. But my thing is that Kaleb has a tendency to where if he gets hit, he likes to hit back. And the last thing I want is for him to I don't want him to hit anybody. Now, granted, I would kind of see it as him standing up for himself and not letting anyone bully him. But I still don't want him to hit anyone. I don't want him to hit another child. Even if the child hits him first, I still don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to go through that. So, and then, you know, also my other thought process to that is the fact of he does wear glasses. And so I don't want, and I'm thinking worst case scenario here. I really am. You know, I have like undiagnosed ADHD, so my brain goes kind of crazy and I think all these weird little things. But like, my thought is, okay, what if she hits him in the face and hurts him with his glasses, or breaks his glasses, or pushes him down, or trips him up, or hits him with a toy or something? Like, I mean, okay, I mean, I can get his glasses replaced. I mean, that's no big deal. I can get him new glasses. But I don't want to. I shouldn't have to. All because, you know, little girl don't know how to keep her hands to herself. But then again, I can't say nothing because I know my own son doesn't know how to keep his hands to himself. So, and again, I don't know what happened beforehand. He could have said something that really upset him, or I don't know. I don't know like what happened beforehand. He could have made her mad, and she's like, look, leave me alone or I'm gonna slap you. No, you won't. And then she just like, I'm touching you, I will slap you back. Or the fact of, it could be like a little Lilo and Stitch thing. Stop touching me. I'm not touching you. You're touching me. No, I'm not. And she's like, I'm not touching you, but she is actually touching. So there's so many different ways that this could have went. There's so many reasons as to, or the reason, I know what I'm trying to say, but it's not coming out right. There could be so many different reasons as to how this happened and stuff like that. So, but considering that she has told me the fact that this has happened, and of course she did say that there were consequences. So I know that they are going to end up telling the other parents, you know, what happened and all of that. I don't know, like again, I don't know if I will ask Kaleb who this little girl is or not. If I did, would kind of mainly just be out of curiosity, just to see if it's the same girl. Because I know when we were at field day, there was a little girl that was pretty hateful to him. Now, that is not the one, that's not the one that he talks about being mean to him in his, you know, in class. That's always being mean to him. This was a totally different little girl. But I think she honestly, she seems to be a little bit more like calm and kind of to herself. So I think that since Kaleb was going a little bit crazy and was kind of all up in everybody's business, even though I was trying to tell him not to, I was trying to let him be a kid and let him have fun, but also trying to rein him in at the same time. And I think that he was just getting on her nerves. And I think that's why she was being kind of a little bit more on the meaner side to him. You know, and I even asked him, because, you know, when I was there, he's like, oh, well, there's that girl. And I was like, oh, this one? And he says, oh, no, not her. This one. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was going to say, well, yeah, I mean, I can see that. She was hateful at you, hateful at field day, but completely different girl. So, and that particular little girl, he ended up not paying attention to what he was doing, and he ended up running smack dab into her and made her fall over, which of course did not help matters because she was already mad and tiffed at him. I did make him go and apologize, and then I made him apologize to it looked like maybe like a grandmother, but the parent or grandparent that was there with her, I made him apologize to her as well. And of course she's like, honey, it's fine, kids will be kids. She is not hurt. If she was hurt, we'd know it, but she's fine. So yeah, of course, if I ever get more information on like what happened or whatever, or of course I will let you guys know. Of course, I gotta tell y'all everything. Y'all are my outlet, y'all. I tell y'all everything. Literally, I tell you guys everything. But we are, as y'all can tell, we are moving, and we are almost there, and I have to put Caleb's little sign up in the window, that way they will know who I'm here to pick up. And so yeah. Hi, Mr. Constable. Hello there. So yeah, I'm going to get off of here, and we will talk to you guys next time.